All right, golf fanatics, buckle up because you've tuned into episode 6 of Golfunity.
The most popular golf infotainment podcast in town.
We're diving deep into the world of women's professional golf.
And trust us.
It's more unpredictable than a shank off the first tee.
Absolutely.
Forget scrolling through endless feeds.
We've scoured the fairways and the headlines to bring you the juiciest nuggets.
From down under and beyond.
We're talking course records shattered.
Nail-biting finishes.
And maybe even a little bit of enlightenment, courtesy of a Buddhist temple.
Get ready for the inside scoop.
The kind that'll make you the most informed golf nut in your foursome.
Our main event today is the Ford Women's NSW Open.
In windy Wollongong.
We've got drama.
We've got rising star.
And we've got some seriously impressive golf being played.
But
before we head to Wollongong,
we're going to do a quick rewind.
To the Australian Women's Classic.
Where a clutch putt sealed a victory.
In a way that'll make your jaw drop.
And in other news,
we'll also touch on a major announcement.
For the 2026 Solheim Cup.
Let's just say a familiar face is taking the reins.
For the American squad.
Okay, so let's unpack this roller coaster.
Starting with that nail-biting finish.
At the Australian Women's Classic.
Yeah, it was a thriller.
Manon De Roey
clearly has a knack for Aussie golf.
This is her third Ladies European Tour title.
All of them have been down under.
Snatched victory with a birdie on the very last hole.
A one-shot win over Kara Gaynor.
It doesn't get much closer than that.
Talk about clutch.
He needed that birdie on the 18th.
Because Gaynor was already chilling in the clubhouse at 8 under.
Can you imagine the nerves?
Standing over that putt.
Knowing exactly what was on the line.
That's the kind of pressure that separates
the good from the golfers.
Who become legends.
I know what you mean.
What's fascinating here is De Roey's mindset.
In that moment,
she admitted to being incredibly nervous.
Especially since there weren't any live leaderboards on the course.
She had to rely on her caddy to know the situation.
That she absolutely needed that birdie.
With Gaynor at 8 under.
It highlights how crucial mental fortitude is in those high-stakes scenarios.
And it makes you wonder,
why does she perform so well in Australia?
That's a great question.
Maybe it's the course conditions?
The atmosphere.
Or even just a positive association with previous wins there.
That gives her a mental edge.
It's one of those intangibles that makes golf so captivating.
Right.
And it sounds like she really soaked up the Aussie vibes after the win.
Celebrating with her host family.
And even indulging in a rare mojito.
That's the sign of a victory well earned.
But let's give a shout out to Sara Kouskova's incredible resilience.
Leading at the start of the final day.
After coming back from a broken leg.
That's the kind of comeback story that makes you want to stand up and applaud.
Absolutely.
Kim's return and her performance were truly inspiring.
Showcasing the dedication and toughness of these athletes.
We also saw a spark from the next generation.
With 17-year-old Thai talent Solheim Wongres.
Back-to-back chip-ins for Birdie.
That's not just good.
That's bordering on sorcery.
You can't teach that kind of flair.
I love it.
Wongres definitely looks like a name we'll be seeing a lot more of.
And it wasn't just those headline-grabbing performances.
Smilla-turning Fenderby made a serious charge on the back nine.
And Becca Hufford snuck into the top 10.
Sounds like the competition was fierce.
Proving the depth of talent on the Ellie.
It was a fantastic tournament.
And importantly,
the Australian Women's Classic provided perfect momentum heading into
the Ford Women's NSW Open.
The next stop for the Ladies European Tour in Australia.
So the energy and competitive spirit were already high.
As they move to Wollongong.
Okay, so let's shift gears.
And head to Wollongong.
For the Ford Women's NSW Open.
After the first round.
We had a couple of frontrunners setting a cracking pace.
Nuria Iturios of Spain.
And the local favorite,
Kirsten Rudgeley.
Both scorching the course with 6 under 65s.
Iturios had a bit of a rocky start.
With an early bogey.
But then went on a birdie rampage.
Guarding 7 in total.
What really stood out was her feeling of peace on the course.
A rare commodity in the pressure cooker of professional golf.
Maybe the layout of this particular course in Wollongong resonates with her.
Creating a sense of calm that allows her to play more freely.
She also mentioned that the calmer winning conditions suited her aggressive style.
And it's clear she's been doing some significant mental work in the off-season to trust her game under pressure.
Finding that mental peace can be a huge advantage.
And then you have Kirsten Rudgeley,
the Aussie hope,
firing on all cylinders right out of the gate with a string of birdies.
She really embraced the afternoon wind.
Didn't she?
Sounds like she's one of those rare golfers who actually enjoys battling the elements.
She does.
Rudgeley felt like the course played to her strengths.
Which is always a confidence booster.
Playing on home soil definitely adds an extra layer of motivation.
As she's chasing that elusive maiden-let victory.
Meanwhile,
Iturios is a seasoned winner looking for her 5th title.
So you have that compelling contrast of experience.
Versus local ambition at the top.
Hot on their heels.
Just one shot back.
Was Anna Magnuson?
8 birdies.
That's some serious firepower.
It sounds like her putter was hotter than the Aussie sun.
And she also managed the wind like a seasoned pro.
Precisely.
Magnussen credited her excellent putting and her ability to adapt her strategy to the wind.
Even seeing it as a tool she could use to her advantage.
And right behind her,
We had a logjam of talent at 4 under par.
Ditcha Degger,
Ursula Wistrom,
Sara Kouskova,
Emilia Gardi,
Gisele Philipsen,
Anchisa Utama.
and Kim Mitro.
That just goes to show you how tight and competitive the field was right from the get-go.
So round one sets the stage.
But round two sounds like it threw a massive curveball.
Ending with play suspended due to weather.
We ended up with joint leaders, though,
English rookie Mimi Rhodes,
and the Czech Republic's Sara Kouskova.
both scorching the course at a mind-blowing 12 under par.
Mimi Rhodes fired a course record 62,
That's 9 under par with 10 birdies
hitting every fairway.
and nearly every green.
That's the kind of round that etches your name in the history books.
And get this,
She had to endure an hour-long wait
due to a thunder and lightning suspension.
before stepping up to sink her final birdie putt.
Talk about ice in her veins.
And then Sara Kouskova matches her at 12 under,
With a flawless
bogey-free 63.
3 birdies and an eagle.
That's just showing off,
Kouskova's round was equally impressive.
especially considering she also had to navigate the weather delay
She was actually putting for eagle on the 13th,
when the siren sounded.
and she came back out and drained it.
She did mention struggling with the fading light at the end of her round.
But she kept her scorecard clean.
A testament to some exceptional golf under pressure
It highlights how these players can maintain focus.
and deliver incredible performances even with disruptions.
Holding strong in solo third was Kirsten Rudgeley.
A solid 68 after leading in the first round.
That's still right in the thick of it heading into the weekend.
Absolutely.
Rudgeley mentioned her putter being her savior.
Which is always key.
She's playing consistently.
And as she rightly pointed out,
You're never going to have a perfect round.
so staying steady and minimizing mistakes is crucial for contention.
We also saw Blanca Fernandez and Moa Folk tied for fourth,
With Fernandez finishing strong with a birdie.
and Folk showing incredible resilience by bouncing back from a disastrous triple bogey with a birdie of her own.
That's the kind of mental bounce back that champions display.
And Alessandra Finale made a massive leap up the leaderboard with an impressive 66.
Sounds like she's definitely a threat.
She had some interesting insights after her round, didn't she?
She did,
Finale talked about a steady round
overcoming a slow start
with a couple of early 3-putts
by reminding herself that the course was gettable.
and encouraging herself to attack the pins.
She even mentioned a pep talk from her coach Julio.
It's always fascinating to get a glimpse into those player-coach interactions during a tournament.
And it sounds like she's really embracing the Aussie experience beyond the golf course.
Beach trips, turtle sightings.
That's the way to balance the pressure of competition.
She also mentioned preferring to be slightly behind the leader.
Feeling like she can just focus on her own game without the added pressure of being out front.
That's a really insightful look into the different mental approaches players take.
It is,
Some players thrive under the spotlight of the lead.
while others prefer to hunt from behind.
Finding that mental sweet spot is crucial for consistent performance.
She also mentioned looking forward to an extra day in Sydney,
A nice reward after a hard week of golf.
especially knowing she made the cut and could celebrate with her friend Anna at the beach.
Speaking of taking a break from the intense competition,
This next story is pretty unique.
we heard that Darcy Harry
Anna Foster,
and Amelia Garvey took a trip to the Nantine Temple in Wollongong.
a Buddhist temple.
That's not your typical pre-tournament preparation.
It sounds like it was a profoundly positive experience for them,
They immersed themselves in Buddhist teachings on mindfulness.
and the importance of appreciating everything.
Harry specifically mentioned the takeaway message of appreciating all experiences
Both good and bad.
and believing that positive energy comes back to you,
That's a powerful perspective to take onto the golf course.
where adversity is almost guaranteed.
Foster found the teachings on staying present.
Particularly relevant to golf,
Makes perfect sense.
focusing on one shot at a time
Letting go of past mistakes.
and future anxieties.
Exactly.
Foster admitted she was initially a bit surprised by the idea of visiting a temple in Australia
But she was deeply moved by the temple's beauty.
and the peaceful atmosphere,
She found it eye-opening to witness a different way of life.
and gain some valuable perspective on their own high-pressure careers.
It seems like it served as a great reminder to appreciate the opportunity they have to play professional golf.
It's fantastic to hear they had such a meaningful experience.
Maybe a little dose of Buddhist mindfulness is the secret weapon for sinking those winning putts.
Now let's switch gears completely.
And talk about a major announcement from the LPGA.
Angela Stanford has been named the captain for the 2026 U.S. Solheim Cup team.
That's right.
A familiar and highly respected figure taking the reins.
For the American squad,
Stanford brings a wealth of experience
both as a successful player.
and a passionate Solheim Cup competitor.
It'll be fascinating to see her leadership style.
And how she shapes the team in the years to come.
This is a significant move.
in the world of women's team golf.
So there you have it.
De Roey's dramatic victory.
The NSW Open leaderboard looking tighter than a pair of golf pants.
After the holidays.
A temple visit offering some unexpected perspective.
And a Solheim Cup captain named.
The world of women's golf is absolutely firing right now.
What stands out to you from these incredible performances?
Are you as hyped as we are to see who takes home the trophy in Wollongong?
Hit us up.
And let us know.
That's all the deep diving we've got for you on this episode of Golfunity,
The most popular golf infotainment podcast in town.
Don't forget to ring the bell.
And follow us on all our social media channels.
For even more hot takes.
And behind-the-scenes action.
And be sure to tune in next time for episode 7.
Where we'll be unpacking even more of the latest from the golf world.
You won't want to miss it.
Until then.
Keep your drives long and your putts dropping.